Hello, I'm Sensei Alex Kikuyo. The title of today's talk is Don't Drink Poison. Before we get into that, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way you'll be notified when I post talks in the future. If you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, that'd be great too. In Buddhism, we are taught that all of human suffering can be traced back to the poisons of greed, anger, and ignorance. But in order for us to understand how that works, we first need to understand this word, poison. What does it mean? And frankly, why should we care? According to the dictionary, a poison is a substance that is capable of causing the illness or death of a living organism when introduced or absorbed. Pretty serious stuff. Thus, when Buddha says that the three poisons of greed, anger, and ignorance are the sources of all human suffering, what he is saying in no uncertain terms is that our greed, our anger, and our ignorance can cause injury or death, not just to ourselves, but potentially to others as well. Now, that's very serious, very important work that we need to alleviate these things from our lives. But how do we do that? These are abstract ideas. These are abstract terms. How do we rid ourselves of greed, rid ourselves of anger, rid ourselves of ignorance? Well, one way we can do this is look for the sources of these poisons. No, greed isn't something that we can stay away from as we walk around in daily life, the way we would stay away from poison ivy on a hiking trail, but we can look for things that cause greed to grow in our mind. So maybe the TV shows we watch cause us to have greedy thoughts, cause us to desire more than what we already have. Maybe the social media we engage with causes us to feel angry thoughts towards others who aren't like us. Maybe the TV shows we watch add to our ignorance. Instead of educating us, they entertain us in the worst ways, causing us to think less not only of ourselves but of others as well. In order for us to rid ourselves of greed, anger, and ignorance, we must be careful to look through our lives and look at the things that cause us to intake these poisons. And we must make the grown-up decision to eliminate these things when we see them. Now, the Buddha, in his wisdom, did not lay out commandments. He didn't say, do this, don't do that. If you do, you're a bad person. Instead, he said, here's a suggestion. Here's a warning, if you will. Now you, the individual, use your own mind, your own inner wisdom to decide how best to deal with this information. So I would encourage you in your day-to-day life as you engage with the world, especially as you engage with TV and social media and the internet, look at what you're taking in, look at what you're engaging with, and ask yourselves, does this make my life better or worse? Does it engender wisdom, compassion, and generosity, or does it cause me to take in the poisons of greed, anger, and ignorance? Does it cause me to take in items that could cause injury, not just to myself, but potentially to the people around me as well? Amitabha.